enjoying ourselves. This is the fourth Dignify. The third, after three, we raised £168,000. It's a tremendous effort, and actually that's converted into helping many tens of thousands of people. And what that does is it buys essentials. It buys food and hygiene items. That's what we provide. But I'd like to say a bit more about what else it provides in addition to the essentials. So people come to us for free stuff, but we give them a bit more. I mean, how do we translate that scale of help down to something that everybody can understand? I think, try and imagine what it might be like to lose everything. People don't think it's going to happen to them, but everyone I've met who's a refugee has thought the same, and then they've ended up where they are. So you've lost your home, your business, your work, your friends, your family are probably scattered around the world. All your nice things, all those things you like to do at the weekend, it's all gone. It's all gone, and so, you know, you've fled and you've started somewhere new. So obviously you need essentials. Everyone needs food and hygiene items. That's what we provide. That's why people come to see us. But actually, people need more than that. What they need is they need a bit of hope, and they need a bit of resilience, and they need to taste a bit of normality again. And that's what we provide. And I think of a couple of people that I've met. I'm doing this for 7 years, right? So I'm a bit battered from it. I'll try and get through this without crying, because I think back to 7 years ago when we were on a refugee camp, and there was a guy the same age as me, and he was there with his wife and his 2 boys, and he said, what happened? You know, I had a restaurant, I had my business, my friends, my family around me, my kids were going to school, and he was kind of dumbstruck, sat in a refugee camp looking around thinking, have I done the right thing bringing my kids here? I met another person in Cyprus, a young woman, and we were running centres, and she's in the centre, and she's talking about why she's there. And she says, look, it's nice to come somewhere, because otherwise I'm stuck in my room with the 4 walls closing in me and just my thoughts running around my head. At least I can come here and be myself and talk to people. That's what we provide. So we provide food and essentials. That's what your donations help us to give. We buy stuff and we offer people free stuff, and then they come to us and we distribute that stuff through shops that we've created, and we give people choice. And what that does is when people come in and they get what they need, they get this other stuff. They get a bit of normality. They get treated with respect, and they have some control over their lives when everything else around and outside of that shop is chaos. So that's really important, and you know, the way that we provide that is because of your donations, but also we rely on volunteers. So, you know, many of you in this room have already volunteered in the centre, and there's a few of you here, and I want to thank you for that. But if any of us would like to come and help, we're always looking for people. Come for 2, 3, 4 weeks. It will change your life. It will be eye-opening, and it's a way to show solidarity. You know, the people here, I mean, what can we do? We can't solve the whole problem, but at least we can go and do something. We can stand alongside them, shoulder to shoulder, and say, we're here with you in your moment of need. So that's why your help is important. So, you know, we're in Cyprus, been there for a while. People in Cyprus, we see new people every week. We're now setting up in the UK. Again, you know, people are forced to live destitute lives because they're not allowed to work. We're now seeing a terrible conflagration in Palestine. You know, hundreds of thousands of people we know will need to move. Where are they going to go? We're sure to see the impact of that. Putin's still dropping bombs on civilian areas in Ukraine. People are still fleeing to Moldova, where we've got a centre. And so we run centres. Now we've got those 3 in Cyprus, in Moldova, and we're setting up in the UK. But what your support, it also enables us to do, is respond to emergencies. And so this year, following that earthquake in Turkey, which, I mean, the numbers are amazing. I mean, millions of people had to move from this terrible... We went to a city, and the whole city, 500,000 people, was just flattened. And we went there, and because we know what we're doing, we've got a structure, and we've got support from people like you. We just turned up, didn't know what we were going to do, but we helped 10,000 people in 4 weeks. Yes! I absolutely know what we're doing now after all this time. And I think, please give generously if you can, whatever else you can do. 100 quid, like I say, enables us to support 15 people, but also enables us to give them extra, that lifting of the spirits, and that's priceless. This is going to be my last Dignify. I've been doing this job for 7 years. 7 years ago, I went to help for a weekend, and then look what happened. What happened, actually, was people turned up. People said, yes, we're going to come along and help you. And so I thought, okay, well, let's do this. And then it grew, and we just did more and more, and it became a ride. And it was a ride I couldn't get off. But this year, fortunately, Rachel, who stood right there, go and say hello to her. She is an extraordinary human who is going to take over the running of refugee support. I couldn't think of anyone better to entrust it to. She is extraordinary. But I want to say something else about what your donation provides. This is the final thing that I'm going to say now. What do you get with your donation? You get an organization that understands how to help people. And, like I say, I've been leading the organization with other people, but it really is a group effort. And what we have now is an organization of people who really care, who know how to help, who can respond quickly to emergencies, and who are giving people all of the extras that we know they need. And that's critical. So I look back, right? 4 years ago, we were in Cyprus raising money for there. And we were helping, like a few hundred people. And now we're helping tens of thousands of people in 3 centres and responding to emergencies. And that's all thanks to your help. So thank you very much. Have a good evening, everyone.